technology for younger children. And, but that did not pass, so it was amended to make it so we have to pass a policy on it. So I feel like that's something our board should seriously take a look at. Our policy doesn't necessarily have to completely ban it, but there is a lot of concern with some of the legislators. And then, of course, I thought there was some great testimony as well regarding the effects on the brain of a child in technology, too much technology use. So, thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Rebecca. Okay, the next item is to discuss school trips.
We only have one, the high school ROTC, 10 students to Wilderness in the Smokies in Sevierville, Tennessee, May the 21st through the 23rd. Sponsors Jacob Struford and Bobby Hampshire. And the information's in your packet.
Any questions on that? Okay, discuss contracts. The first one is extending the director of schools contract 1 year. I put that on there because I feel like Greg is doing a good job. Before I was the chair, I didn't understand everything that he dealt with on a weekly basis and even a monthly basis. And he's a busy man, and I think he's got the school system headed in the right direction. And do I have any other discussion on that?
I'll concur with your comments.
Let me ask, just because I went through this process,
Yes,
you have
sir.
to give a certain amount of notice. And I don't remember exactly how much notice it is to extend the contract. Was that something, I don't know when I got this, I think on the 10th,
Giving those to whom? Us?
the public.
Okay. Is that our policy? Is that?
I think it was state law. I just didn't know if anybody had looked at that. The only reason I know that is because I had my contract extended.
Well, I know you can't do it, 90 days before the election?
That's a totally different, yes. But you have to give public notice of so many days. I want to say it's around 2 weeks, but I can't. That's a lot to remember.
I'm not familiar with it.
I didn't either. I didn't know nothing about that, Jimmy.
I know that when we're doing a normal contract, just like for a vendor, I know there is a TCA code that says that if it is for more than 4 years, you have to advertise it in the newspaper. And I don't know if that's what you're thinking of, but that's the only one that I am
No,
aware of.
it's extending a director
Just for
school's
directors, okay,
contract.
that I'm not
There has to
familiar.
do a public notice of so many days. and I
It's
want to
15
say
days
it was-
according to tn.gov.
Huh?
It's 15 days according to tn.gov.
Okay.
Does posting our agenda saying that we will be voting on that constitute the advertisement of
I
that?
would think it would.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know how many days. I don't know.
I believe it went out to, of course, the paper doesn't publish it until, like the week after you send it in. It went on Historic Union County last Friday.
What about the website, Ronnie? Because that counts as well.
It wouldn't have been any sooner than it went to Historic Union County. Usually I send all it out the
I
same
just want
day.
to make sure we're doing everything like it's supposed to be done.
Yeah.
So when did it go out to 9?
Last Friday.
Yeah, so you're not, you can't touch it.
And I'm not against it. I just remember that when mine was extended and going through that process.
That's good information, Jimmy.
Well, thank you. Haven't gone through the process.
So let me ask this, can we put it on next month, and will that be enough time? I mean,
Next month's agenda.
It's got to be 60 days for the election.
60 or 90.
60.
I think
It'll get
it's
60.
nine.
Now the election's in August, right?
August 6th.
Well, that'd be 60 days before, wouldn't it? Because
If
next month's
it's-
meeting's May.
Can I read you the TCA code and cite the number?
Yes, please.
TCA code 49-2-203A13C. A school board cannot extend a director of schools contract unless it gives 15 days notice of its intent to do so before the meeting where the vote will occur. So I think you discussing it tonight and then posting it, I think that would be probably for next month.
Yes,
Mhm.
but now that window.
Okay, I'm gonna go through that.
I don't think it would interfere with the election part of
I
that.
don't either.
I think it's a law that it has to be so many days
Yes,
prior to.
yes, before, or after.
You can't get rid of the director, you can't hire a director for,
Mhm.
Does the election date affect it? Short answer, no. The election date does not change the notice requirement. Under Tennessee Code annotated 49-2-203, the rule is fixed. Board must give 15 days. There is no exception or modification tied to the election timing, whether a school board election is upcoming, just occurred, or is changing board membership. What elections can affect. While the law itself doesn't change, a board might act before or after an election to reflect current versus incoming membership. That's a political governance issue, not a legal one under statute. So that would be your policy. Whatever your policy says about the election. But there is no state law about election timing, according to this.
This says, and I'll pull this up.
Okay.
Under Tennessee law, local boards of education are prohibited from appointing or extending a school superintendent's contract 45 days before to
Then
30
I'd
days
go with yours
after
then.
a general school board election.
When is the election?
August 6th.
August 6th. Well, it's still,
So
It
it's
won't
not 60 or
interfere.
90, so yeah.
Yeah, it don't matter.
45 before,
Okay.
yeah.
I'd definitely go with yours.
It also states it has to go to the local newspaper, radio, and television stations within that 15,
Yes.
not just Facebook or something like that. It has to
Yeah.
go out to the public.
Okay, so let's
okay, we can,
bump it out to May,
yes,
bump it to May.
can you put that on the agenda for May? Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Let's get this taken off.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Sorry, I don't think that.
No,
Line you want.
here is what I think, okay? We're all here to do a job, and you've got a lot of information, and I'd love for you to share all the information you got. I mean, you know, I might tell you that. I'm joking, Jimmy, but, you know, information is a good thing.
I just remembered that.
All
Mr.
right,
Chairman, can I go back to, because I didn't know about the trip, the ROTC trip. So I was looking at the paperwork right now while we were discussing that. And so we've got 10 cadets and 1 recent graduate. Do you know if the recent graduate has a background check and that process has been taking place?
The last 2 days of school, should be graduating, I guess, the week before. We can get her a background check. But it's a reward for her.
I saw all that.
Yeah, it's
But- The sponsors, and if it's, did you say a recent grad?
Yeah, it's Kaylee Wheeler. She'll graduate Friday before.
Oh, I see. So
Year previous.
it is somebody of this class?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Class 2026.
Okay, I thought it was like the last year
No.
grad. Okay, thank
She has to
you.
have a background check. Okay,
It read like it was. a
No,
former
it's
student.
Kaylee Wheeler
Okay,
who's graduating this year.
okay, I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Jimmy,
That's why I'm here.
Greg said she didn't do the background check.
No, it said a recent grad.
Okay,
I thought it was like a graduate student from last year. It didn't, I wouldn't know her when she graduated, but it just said a recent graduate.
yeah, my daughter's raising Cain about the background check, but I told her I couldn't do nothing about that.
Well, I was thinking she graduated last year.
Yeah.
If it was a recent grad.
She got one.
Something pulled up when it came in, but now it's Maybe it was already pulled up in my house.
Okay, we're gonna move along. Would you like to discuss the contract for the sign language?
Yes, we have had a request from the high school that we have an American Sign Language interpreter at the high school graduation. And to do that, we need to enter into a contract, and it'll be good for a year. And, but it allows us through that contract to, attain the services of that sign language person. And it will cost us roughly, we estimate $500-600.
Do we have them for the year or,
Yes,
so if we need.
but now
an
we
inter-
pay by when we need a service.
Okay, so the contract, so
Right.
you're paying for the contract, but you pay not service according to
Yes.
the contract. Okay,
Last year,
Actually,
we
if we-
spent approximately $1,700.
yeah,
And if we had the contract and never had to utilize the services, then the contract wouldn't cost us.
right,
It's just if we need it.
I see.
Okay, is there any questions on that? Okay. We'll move along. Director's monthly report and budget amendments and transfer, Miss Missy.
Thank you. You all should have the reports, and at this time of year, we should be at a 75%, and it looks like everything is running right on track to finish up the year where we need to be. I'd be happy to answer any questions. If we don't have any, I'll move on to budget amendments.
Any questions?
Okay, budget amendments, I have 4 pages tonight. First page is Fund 141, General Purpose Schools. The second page is the continuation of that fund. These budget amendments are to move funds around in the appropriate budget as needed. Any questions on 141? Okay, page 3 of 4 is Fund 142, Federal Programs, Consolidated Administration. This transfer request is to move funds to necessary lines within the budget. And then finally, page 4 of 4, this is for the Fund 143, Central Cafeteria. This budget amendment request is to transfer within the appropriated budget as needed. Okay, that's all I have for budget amendments.
Any questions on that? Okay,
And we do not have any surplus this month.
okay. The next item is personnel update.
It's pretty simple this month. We had one leave and we hired one back. That's the way I like it.
That's sweet and to the point.
And it was a miracle to get somebody that fast because the teacher quit on Monday. We had the kid or the young man hired by the middle of the week. He'd already interviewed with us about a possible position for next year, so it worked out really well for him.
Any questions? Okay. The next one is maintenance and capital project update.
Okay, I'll start with the maintenance side of it. Of course, I've told you all, we've been working on the central office. We had the disaster. Mike has got some quotes. We're looking at probably, I think Broadway's gonna come in and put some new carpet down. It was about high price compared to what we'd have to do with hardwood. I'd really like the hardwood, but it's gonna be like $27,000, so. So we're gonna go back with a carpet similar to what we have. We're gonna go ahead and do the whole downstairs so that everything matches. So we do all the downstairs offices too. I think that costs around $14,000 or $15,000 total to go ahead and do all of that. So that's where we're on that one. Of course, we have our ongoing stuff with the Big Ridge pieces have finally been fixed. The compressor came in over at Big Ridge for the big unit. I've been running about 50% capacity for a while, so we got that done. There's one thing that happened here at the high school. One of the new compressors went out, it's under warranty, so we'll get that repaired. And I think two of the air dryers on one of the other big units, it went down, but it saved getting to the compressors to blow them up again. So that part, that's some ongoing things to do with those. That's basically all I've got on that. One thing to note, since we're on some of this, is in the notes I'd sent to you guys previously, that Brian was looking to get us some equipment for CTE. He has ordered those from Bobcat. He's getting a skid steer and a Mini X with a trailer also to haul that stuff around, so we can go out back, start turning dirt and pushing trees around. So it gives the kids an option there. And I talked to Kelly Cheney today, the president of TCAT. Of course, we're looking, trying to get a heavy equipment classes up here. And I told her we've already beat her to the punch. We've got the equipment coming in, so now get the classes started. So she was excited about that. So that's something, hopefully in the near future, we can get that going at TCAT in Knoxville too. And I had quick notice on this. They had a TCAT signing day over here. And when I went, I thought it was only going to be for our students. We had about 12 kids signing with TCAT to either go to this campus or Knoxville's campus. And when I get here, it's the whole area. They brought the whole region up from Knox County and Anderson County to do their signing day to showcase their new facility. So there's like 55 kids had signing day today at the new facility. So it was a great event earlier this morning. So that's that. On the middle school, of course, you can see there's a lot going on. I can send you this big long list of things. That's where we're at on that. Basically, flooring is down in the wings, in the classrooms, especially on the 6th and 7th grade wing. I've got a couple of sample pieces at my office. The best part about the new flooring is no waxing. Do that. They put epoxy down in the restrooms, so you'll have the tile for that. It should last a lot longer that way. They've got the concrete poured in the gym and the last piece on the boulevard on the top part. And the supervisor over there sent me a picture of this, I think yesterday, showing me they're hanging the ball goals. So I got excited about that. So I'll check that out next week when we get over there. But still making good progress, still on time. They're really rolling right now. Since we've got everything indoors under the roof, they're closing up the big hole in the backside for the gym, since they got everything inside there. So they're still making good progress on that. I'll send you all this, the detail updates in the notes tomorrow, so you'll have all those. Any questions about the middle school?
Not the middle school, but one day this week I was driving through Knoxville and there was like a TCAT 18-wheeler drivers. It's like they use it to train 18-wheeler drivers. Is that something that we have talked about? That might be a possibility up here, because they have it at TCAT in Knoxville. Right.
They have that class there. It's just that they get enough interest here, then they can start offering it up here also.
Okay. Let's see if we can borrow the truck.
Yeah, I'm sure they want us to do it.
I've got a question. What about the clay fields? The baseball and softball?
There is clay mud up there. No, he was waiting to get the property purchased. We settled all that last week. We got all those closed. So now we're just waiting for him to mobilize and get back in here to start his final excavation work on the top. Of course, there's a lot of excavation work to do around the school to clean up the landscaping and all that stuff. One thing, if you've not been by lately, go by and look at the football field. It's turning green, and we're getting returned to irrigation on, I think, this week, so we can start watering.
That's great. Let me ask you, this is right, non-doable. Did you ever look and see what turf in the baseball and softball field would cost us?
Like AstroTurf kind of turf?
Yeah, just the infield, not the outfield.
No, I haven't, but I know that's a trend a lot of schools are going to.
And the reason I say that is our coaches are having to spend time to do all of that. And over a period of time, that kind of adds up. So I'm thinking after, 15 years.
Yeah.
Do you think you could just look at the cost?
Oh, yeah, because we have probably the company that came out and did the high school field. They're coming back out to do some renovations on the track.
Yeah.
Because, it's getting some age on it now, so we're trying to go back in and fix the holes.
Yeah.
In the track and stuff like that, so that'd be easy to get some information on. Because I know, in particular, I've been there, it's like Lenore City, of course, their football field's turf, but their infields on baseball and softball turf also. They still have the grass outfield, but they don't have infield.
And I thought if we could just do the infield, how much, it is a lot of work. And it's
Well, I
not
know
quite possible to look at the high school too, but those people put a ton of
Oh,
work
yeah.
into those, getting those fields ready. And it doesn't hold water, so you don't have to do all the things you have to do if you have rain dates and trying to reschedule and do all that other
But one
stuff.
thing that Washburn did just for this year's baseball season, they turfed just the batter's box area in the pitcher. They have grass infield like our high school. does.
Yeah,
On their new fields they have up there, that's what they did. They went in and put that turf down in those areas because that helps too, trying to keep games on.
I mean, it's really nice,
Oh, yeah.
but you don't spend that kind of money just because it looks nice.
But
But the cost that if we went back and looked at the amount of money that we put into that high school baseball field and the softball field, it would have paid for it.
Yeah, the upkeep is tremendous. I mean.
And so if we could just look into it and see at least what we're looking at there.
I just know how much a load of that dirt costs for those infields.
And Mr. Clay, when you said fixing holes, and I'm assuming that means bringing some dirt in to fix
No, this is
just
the
the
track.
track or just the,
Where the track is, it's getting some wear on it, so they're gonna come back and recondition some places in the tracks. It's just like a rubbery surface, around the football field.
if we ever could maybe bring in the electoral areas that I asked you about the other day, if it would cost less if we were already doing something, maybe to bring in some dirt there, if it costs less, if you could remember that.
Yep.
If we're already getting stuff done and then we, end up adding that to it.
I
And I
know-
also asked, oh, go ahead.
I know when Woody and I coached softball down here, it took a lot of work to get ready to play a game, and if you do the tournament, then you're there about every day.
Yeah,
And
well, and the rain. The draining on a turf infield is a lot better than on dirt, trying to keep it covered and trying to avoid rain delays and rescheduling. There's a lot that goes into it, I just wonder.
I can have Mary check on it right now, as far as what it would cost, because they have, I can't remember the name of the company they're using for the sod, but I'm sure that there's something in the same area that they have contact.
If we could.
just make sure that you do it for the girls the same as the boys.
Oh, it will.
I said softball and baseball.
Yeah, I know, but that singer donated money for the baseball field at Gibbs for turf, and they can't put it down until they get enough money to do the softball field.
Can I ask something real quick?
Yes, ma'am.
Our sign for the TCAT Knoxville, do you think that can ever be changed, or you think that's not negotiable?
That's not ours.
Okay, but so we couldn't have any influence in having it not say Knoxville?
Well, because, it is a satellite campus for
Of Knoxville, okay.
Knoxville.
All right,
I don't what think so.
okay.
Okay. That was the middle school update. Okay, discuss the TSBA recommended policy revisions. If you all haven't read these and you need a nap, you need to read it.
I read them in such detail that I got to highlight all the differences between